because of the principles that is laid in our book, even though it's clearly not for them. So even they seeing, just with Christianity alone, they see that this book is righteous.
Yeah, they see that, hey, I'm not getting in all these other troubles that would happen naturally if I didn't have this word, that I can get through them.
But they just use it and twist it, and they still end up being wicked because they don't have the understanding. You know? Go ahead.
Back in 1 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, verse 7, it says, "But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which the Most High God Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory."
Hold that. Get Philippians, Ephesians 3:3. Ephesians 3:3.
Ephesians chapter 3, verse 3.
This is a mystery. For a long time, people, their understanding was darkened, man. You know?
How that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery, as I wrote afore in few words.
Go ahead.
Whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge of the mystery of Hamashiach,
Yep.
which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men, as it is revealed unto the holy apostles and prophets by the Spirit.
Woo! By the Spirit. Okay? So go back to that in Corinthians.
It says, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7.
Hey, Israel was in gross darkness, man. After that falling away, and we fell away from the Lord, and Jerusalem got besieged in 70 AD. We got scattered into the four corners of the earth, went into slavery all over the place. Our understanding became darkened, man. Our heritage was beat out of us. And by the time it was time for us to come back, you had the devil. Here's the book, but you can't touch it. You can only hear it from our perspective. And you better follow it the way we teaching you, or we gonna beat your back out, or we gonna kill you. You know? That's how it was done. Okay? But the Lord made it to where we was able to get this book for ourselves. And the Spirit, the breath of the Lord returned to us, which that's all prophesied. You read that in Revelation 11, Ezekiel the 37th chapter. That's exactly what happened to us, man. The understanding returned.
I want to use this quick testimony about the movie Birth of a Nation, man.
Yep.
That's what happened in that. He began to read these scriptures so much. He said, "Well, everything that they're telling me to read it for, I see why they got me to read this. But then I read deeper, and I begin to see that that's not just talking about them over us. It's talking about us rising up against them, and the Lord coming back to redeem us from them. Like, if you're an Israelite and you ain't seen Birth of a Nation, drop everything, go watch that movie, then come back. Okay, for real. That's that important of a movie to this whole Israelite thing. It really ties us, the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, even though they pretty much just had the Negroes in the movie, ties us right into this Bible, and there's a proper and deeper understanding of the scriptures. Okay, because he was using this word in the right way after he realized the truth.
Yep.
Did you read my now?
Because Esau had him teaching plantation Christianity.
Yep.
The same Christianity that you got no cab alone, that motherfucker, man. Him, the Shield Squad, all them niggas, they're teaching the same plantation Christianity that we learned in slavery, man.
Yeah, love your enemies. You know?
Yeah.
But that's talking about Israel, man.
That don't mean you can save them.
Because Yahushua, what's that, Luke 19:27, bring hither and slay them before me.
Yeah.
Like,
Those are my enemies that I would have them reign over me.
Yep.
Yeah. So when we said love your enemies, we're not gonna come and kill your ass.
Right.
It ain't time to.
Right.
You know, but when Yahushua gives that order to, that's when we're gonna bring them before Yahushua and slay them. Man. Slay our enemies. Man.
And you got to understand, when he was talking about love your enemies, he was talking to his disciples.
Yeah.
It was among the body, man. You're gonna have enemies. You're gonna have enemies in the brotherhood, man. Meaning you don't see eye to eye.
Paul and Barnabas.
Paul and Barnabas, they split.
Yeah.
It was a sharp dissension between them two. They departed, man.
Yeah.
But they both
they-
went on teaching them the right
They
word.
went, but they
the right
went and taught the word. They didn't curse each other.
Right?
Okay.
All right, so back in Marine 7 again, 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew.
And they're never gonna know. Okay. You had the prominent men back then. They were just, they were just regular, they didn't know nothing, man. To the world, they probably were. Okay. But the Lord holds the wisdom of this world foolishness. Just like how they think of us. You guys, y'all sound uneducated. Y'all read the scriptures like y'all on a 5th grade level. You know how they people on the comment board be talking shit. They talk all type of shit about us, man. Y'all definitely didn't get a college education.
And what's funny, a lot of brothers did go to college. I didn't say we got the degree, but a lot of us are educated. We just saw the bullshit.
Bro, we can go to fucking Cambridge right now and teach them damn historians and biblical historians some shit, man. They'll blow their mind.
Hey,
man.
give us the test right now.
Exactly. That's what Yahweh Shai did to them when he was 12 years old.
Hey, matter of fact, somebody get that. Because they was like, who is this kid? He ain't supposed to know all this. How he asking these kind of questions? Hold your free, bro.
Where's that at?
I think it's in the second chapter. But they didn't understand. He was born with the Holy Spirit. He already had the understanding, man.
Yeah.
But they was marveling at how much he knew for such a young man.
That's right.
Is it you or is it John?
Father's business.
Luke 2. Because it said that he basically was weaned. Or he basically when he grew.
Wax strong in the spirit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Luke 2 and 40.
Read it.
Yep.
That's it, right?
I got to start at 39. The point is in 40. The point is in 46. So Luke chapter 2, verse 39. And when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, they returned into Galilee to their own city, Nazareth. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom, and the grace of the Most High was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast. And when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph, his mother, knew not of it. But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintances.
They was looking for him all over the places, man. They went to friends, relatives. They went all through the neighborhood, man. You seen my son, Mary and Joseph. Y'all seen our son? Where is he? Have y'all seen him? Going through the neighborhood. You can't find him. All right. Maybe I seen him over such and such. Maybe he was over there with, Couldn't find him. Yahushua was on a mission. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 45. And when they found him not and turned back again to Jerusalem, speaking.
Sound like Craig, Daddy looking for Craig on Friday. Y'all seen Craig earlier, I ain't seen him. You know, they're really looking for him.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple sitting.
Hey, that's a long ass time. In a few hours. You gotta be 24 hours in this society missing before, you know. For 72 hours, man, a long ass time. But I was gonna say, this is what he was doing. That's why they couldn't find him. The last place they would have looked. Go ahead, bro.
That after 3 days, they found him in the temple sitting in the midst of the doctors.
In the midst of the doctors.
Yeah.
These are high-level scholars in the law. Doctors of the law, man. Pharisees, man. Okay? They were professionals in the law. And he's sitting amongst these men.
Yeah.
And they'll probably laugh like, it was this little fellow coming up in here.
2 days
you
ago,
know?
they would have sent him off if he didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting around listening only, you know, without it put some kind
Now
of...
he's old enough to be there because
Yeah.
but when you're 12, you're considered an adult.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they saw him
Yeah.
sitting in the temple. Go ahead.
Both hearing them and asking them questions.
So he's asking them questions. And you know he was asking them deep questions.
Yeah, he understood it.
And he already knew the answers to them. You know? Like, that's why we like to ask questions, man.
Yeah.
You know, we be posing, hey,
So
like
you
to
saying
go,
God can save everybody?
hey, like
Right.
vocab in them. Y'all, all the questions that y'all ask us, you get a plethora of videos in response.
Yeah.
We answer every question y'all ask us. But I notice y'all don't do the same when we ask y'all the questions. You know? Why is that? You know? Y'all, because y'all say certain things and certain doctrines that y'all teach, and we'll pose the question on it. Like for instance, you say Esau is done away with, so we'll be like, okay, so you teach that Esau was done away with. So what is Isaiah 63 talking about?
When-
Is that a
when-
future event?
Yeah, but so when is Isaiah 3 talking about? Yeah.
When did that happen?
When was that fulfilled already, or is that going to be fulfilled?
About Obadiah.
You know? Who's the red horse in Revelation the 6th chapter? You just can't answer. If Yahweh Shai, if he was really born of a virgin birth, then why was Mary under the law of the purification?
Yeah.
The separation of her purification. Why does she need to be separate? Why was she considered unclean by the seed of man if he wasn't from the seed of Joseph?
Con.
It says she was, Yahweh Shai made under the law.
Yep.
You know, the proper way to birth a child.
And those are questions that we asked you, you just can't seem to answer it. So it's the same thing. He was, whatever the Pharisees, whatever they were teaching, if they were going off, you know he was asking them certain questions, and he probably wasn't being disrespectful or none of that. He was just honestly asking questions to him. And you know they have to be like, man,
He gotta know that.
he knows something, man. I think he know. Why is he asking us these kind of questions, man?
Because you can ask somebody a question and they'll know that you know the
That
answer.
you know the answer, exactly.
That's your job
Yeah.
when you're an elder to know what brothers mean when they ask you something.
That's why they tried to get more clever. You know, when he started his ministry and the wicked scribes and Pharisees, they tried to trip him up. You know, they tried to come with these way out questions, and he still would leave him quiet. You know? Go ahead, bro.
I'm going to read 46 again. And it came to pass that every 3 days they found him in the temple. After 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers.
They were bewildered, like, what the, you know? Basically, they saw he was waxing in the spirit. This man is this young cat, 12 years old, man. This guy got wisdom, man. He putting us as we doctors in the law, and he's putting us to shame. You You know? How, you ain't supposed to know that. You know? Go ahead, Doc.
And when they saw him, they were amazed.
Yep.
And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Man. He meant business, man.
For me, for that's
You
shit
know?
to do.
Yep.
Go back.
Go back.
1 Corinthians chapter 2. Let me jump down a little bit. Verse 10. But the Most High hath revealed. Oh, no. He had a precept.
You got a
He
pre?
go.
So like when you said that, it wasn't nothing they could say because the angel came to them. You know, it's like,
You knew.
man, shit. I mean,
You
I
knew
can't
that
really
I was
punish you
supposed
or
to be
nothing.
doing this.
Shit, you're right.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, verse 8. For honorable age is not that which standeth the length of time, nor that is measured by the number of years. But wisdom is the gray hair
He was
unto
just barely becoming a man at age 12, Yahweh Shai, but he had great wisdom. True enough, he was in the Holy Spirit, but when you become about that age, that's when you become I forgot how to say I forgot how to say covenant. It's like they call it a bar mitzvah, but it's bond. I forgot how to say it, Montes something. I forgot how to say it. But basically, you become a son of the covenant. Meaning you now have to be under the covenant. You're judged as a grown man at that point. You know, but
You're held accountable.
You're held
accountable because you know the law now.
right.
You're old enough to, you have studied. You was under the tutorers. They taught you. You got taught the law. By the time you was 12, it was like graduation. You know, you now you on the level to know. Now you can come into the covenant.
Now, but you get the blessings and all that. All that comes for you.
Yep.
Right? So when you it's not about the age of you, it's about the wisdom and understanding. That's what they're saying. The Holy Spirit go to who it wants to. Jeremiah was a young man. It was different prophets and different men that were young. When you read about this, did they say he was like somewhere around like 14 or something? About Jeremiah?
Yeah, he was a young
He was
man.
young, teenager,
He was a
young.
man.
But the point being, it's not just about, just because the old man was in his 60s, all that gray hair or whatever, I don't mean the Spirit gave him the understanding to break this book down.
It's about your years in the spirit
Yep.
versus actual years of age. Like,
verse 9. But wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and is unspotted life is old age.
Yep. I mean, that unspotted, well, the way I look at the unspotted life, I'll say it this way, is that the scriptures have kept you from all the major fuck-ups in life. Wisdom has guided you around from stumbling all over stuff. Okay? Well, anyway, that was it, right? We go back. Verse 10. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 10. But the Most High, Yahweh, has revealed them unto us by the Spirit, for the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of the Most High God. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him. Let me read that again. It says, for what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him. Even so, the things of the Most High God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of the Most High God.
Yeah, there's certain things that only man on the earth can receive it unless they come straight from the Father, man.
Yeah.
What did Yahweh Shai tell Peter when he asked him who he was?
Yeah.
You know?
The Spirit have revealed this unto him.
He said, no man have received this.
Yeah.
He said, no man.
Yeah.
You know? He said, basically, this understanding came down from heaven.
Yeah. Because some say, because he said, according to what everybody else was saying, some say Elijah, some say, was it John or somebody? I forgot who he said. He was like, nah. He said, but what is it that you say? He goes, I think you was the son of the Heavenly Father. He goes, the Spirit has revealed this, like the brother was quoting. Straight from the source. The Spirit came down from Yahweh to give it to him. Verse 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the spirit which is of the Most High God Yahweh, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of the Most High God, which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but with which the Holy Ghost teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
Compare spiritual things with spiritual. Okay?
These analogies, man, and these parables throughout. In these parables, we can see how to apply them in real life. If we talking about the animal world or something, or birds or something, but we'll understand how that correlates to actual men. Or talking about trees or something, you know. What was that the brother brought out? It was about the sifting process. The brother had us look it up, but when he read it, it went deeper into it, and it actually has something to do with basically a rejected seed that didn't fall through the grain. You look at the word seed in the sifting scriptures of what it's talking about, and then regular grain, an imposter grain. Oh,
darnel.
What was it? Darnel.
Yeah, darnel.
Yeah, exactly. That was at the bottom.
Darnel.
Darnel. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway,
Compare spiritual things with spiritual.
we knew that talking about people on the earth.
You know, like when the Lord said, when he told them, I think he was talking to Peter, and he said, I think it's in John the 6th chapter, man. There were certain things that were hard sayings that went over their heads, and sometimes it would be too deep for them, that they just be like, you know what, this dude crazy, man.
Yeah.
They would leave off from following Yahweh.
John 6 and 60.
John 6, yeah.
65.
John 6 and 65, and he said, therefore said I unto you, that no man can come unto me except if he were given unto him of my Father.
Go ahead.
For that time, many of the disciples went back and walked no more with him.
Hold on, you gotta start
Yeah,
over.
start
You said
over.
somebody
Start
was
up
flesh.
at,
Yeah.
start up at 63. You
Yeah.
can start up at 60 to read down the whole context.
All right.
Verse 60. Many therefore of his disciples, when they had heard this, said, this is an hard saying, who can hear it? When Yahushua knew,
Oh, because it's like he was talking about he was the bread of life.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about. I wasn't gonna have him read all of that from 22 to 60, but but that's basically what he was talking about. You can read that for yourself. But this is what response they had to that.
See, or if you on a carnal level, which a lot of those disciples, they were carnal as hell, they thought Yahweh Shah was talking about literally cannibalism. Eat me.
Yeah.
You know?
It's simple.
To a simpleton, what?
My body and my blood.
Drink your blood, eat your body. What?
We can't do that. The law don't allow us to do that.
Yeah.
Straight up, man.
It's funny because that's why it's like, I'm gonna cut you off right there, but I want to say this about the hip hop world. That's what makes hip hop so special, because you just can understand these analogies and parables in that realm, but you can't understand it in the same context, but according to the scripture, when it's the same thing. It's written in the type of style that you like. It's written in an entertaining form. You know?
Metaphors,
Metaphors,
similes, all that.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
when Yahushua knew in himself that the disciples murmured at it, he said unto them,
Spirit, like we said, the Spirit directly came down and gave it to Yahushua. Oh, they don't get it. They murmuring because they didn't get it. You know, bro.
doth this offend you? What and if ye shall see the Son of Man ascend up where he was before? And the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Hey, the Spirit quickeneth, but the flesh profited nothing. Your spirit is now renewed, but your flesh is going to stay the same. It didn't get no profit out of this. Okay? But your understanding grew in your spirit.
But they are some of you that believe not. For Yahushua knew from the beginning.
Because when you would actually eat bread itself, your flesh would get nutrients and whatever, you know, that came with that nourishment, fulfilled like with being full, but it don't do nothing for your flesh. It only does it to your spirit. That's why when we read spirit with spirit.
And a lot of them, he knew they was full of shit because they was really there. They was only
Get
following
the loaves.
for fleshly reasons.
Yeah.
Yep.
They wasn't trying to
Loaves,
grow
remember?
in the spirit. They wasn't
Yeah.
trying to get the spiritual
Fish and
things
bread.
that the Lord was speaking to them, man. You know? Go ahead, bro.
And there are
And
some
that's why
of
a lot of
you.
Jake flock to these certain Israelite camps, like
the
that
ladies,
woman.
yeah.
They want to go somewhere where they're comfortable, man.
They
For
know
fleshly,
on the
for
Sabbath,
fleshly reasons.
They got chicken and purple soda.
Yeah.
And, you know, and all
Yeah,
that.
all the things that appeal to the world, they still allow some of that to go on in these other camps.
Yeah.
You know, you want to look fly. You got the uniform garment,
Yeah.
With the fringes on it.
fringes on it. You want to appear to be righteous to men by wearing your fringes. What about the fringes up here?
Yeah.
They're like all day walking around with these fringes that they're gonna automatically get beamed into a chariot as if this garment is gonna go up there with you.
That lady
Or
had
you-
fringes on her garment but didn't have her hair cut.
Yeah.
Coming to talk to me.
Yeah. They,
That's what I'm talking about.
but they preach the law so heavy.
Yeah.
That's the part of the law.
Come on now.
And I'm pretty sure she had a husband, but
Or she was gonna get one dealing with this.
exactly, she shouldn't be talking to us.
Right.
Shit.
Google. I don't want to call her bitch. Just because it was funny. You know, but now, lady Google though.
If she's in that congregation, she should, man, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, verse 64. But there are some of you that believe not, for Yahushua knew from the beginning.
Man, you saw her Salaki, but you saw how we just discern the whole truth about that lady that quick. That lady knows, but she told us where it was at. It's on Sahara. What you telling us for?
Shit, you all the way over on Ogden.
Yeah, what you telling us for? You want to come over here and talk to us. You ain't supposed to be talking to us. Go ahead, bro.
For Yahushua knew from the beginning who they were that believed not and who should betray him.
He knew. He already knew.
And he said, therefore, said I unto
Could
you.
just imagine just thousands of guys coming